In 1993, when I started my entrepreneurial career, I was listening to a personal development speaker. He was one of the best back then, very well known, and he was talking about the concept of thoughts become things. This was actually the first time I had ever heard of that concept. And he went on to say we are a mirror image of our consistent thoughts. What we focus on is what we attract. And by the end of the seminar, I realized in order for me to reach my dreams, I had big dreams. I needed to change the level of my thinking. So I asked myself the question, how was I going to do that? Because we have tens of thousands of thoughts every single day. And where do those thoughts come from? Well, I realized after doing a little bit of research, our thoughts come from our programming. And how were we programmed? Well, by the time we were in our mother's womb, till about 7 years old, God in His wisdom put our minds in the theta level. And why is that important? When you're in the theta level, that's where your mind is able to be programmed. You know, for example, a 3-year-old walking across a bridge does not know if they jump off the bridge, they will die because they have not been programmed yet. So in God's wisdom, He created us in this theta level so we can intake so much information, so much programming, so we will be able to survive. Unfortunately, as we get into adulthood, many of us are programmed in a way where it stops us from growing, stops us from achieving our goals, especially around the things that have a lot of emotion around it, like money and success and relationships, etc., etc. So I knew that I needed to change a lot of my thoughts around what I was programmed, around money, around business, what I could do to myself. So I came across a technique called the 5-day mental diet. Here was the thing, that I needed to go through 5 days without thinking negatively. And so you start on day 1, and the goal is to catch yourself. If you get into that thought of a negative thought, within 30 seconds to catch yourself, within 30 seconds, and you can continue. If you don't catch yourself, you got to start on day 1 again and get through the 5 days. Well, it took me a while. I had to restart to get me through the 5 days. And then I did it to the 10th, to take me to the 10th day. So what happened is I was able to program my thoughts and program myself and focus my thinking on my dreams and catch myself negatively speaking to myself. It really worked, ladies and gentlemen. So this is an area that if you struggle with, you know that you need to change your thoughts, to change your habits. Habits will change your actions, and the actions will create the results. Try the 5-day mental diet, then take it to 10 days, and this technique will change your life.